morning everyone. My name is Amujud.
My name is Muhammad Azanajihan dari Malaysia.
My name is Umi Salina.
Okay, today we are discussing about nowadays young Malaysians drowning in buy now pay later service. Okay, a recent financial report shows that more than 60% of Malaysians ages 18 to 25 have used buy now pay later in past year. At first, buy now pay later looks easy and safe. You buy something that you need and you pay later in small parts. But banks have found that late payments among young adults have doubled in 6 months. As a banker, I meet many young people who are starting their financial journey, but sadly, most of them are already in debt. As a banker, I think that main reason of young Malaysians fall into buy now pay later service is aggressive online marketing. This is because that young people are flooded with advertisements nowadays on social media that give flash sale, limited time of buy now pay later with zero interest. For what I see in my job, many of young customers don't plan to overspend, but shopping apps usually send notifications for 24 hours a day and encouraging people to buy more although that they don't need the item. This marketing style is powerful because it makes customers believe that they are saving money, but actually they're spending their money more and they're spending for their money more to the item they don't need. For example, a student might see a 50% discount on iPhone and he thinks that this is a smart deal and he chooses to pay by buy now pay later. I think that this is risk and he needs to afford more fees in the few months later. That's all for my point.
Yes, I agree with your points. I'm inclined to believe that one major cause of this problem is 24 hours at applications. Nowadays, online stores are never closed. Our children can buy things at any time, even late at night. They see promotions like buy now, pay later. It makes them feel like they can afford everything. So, because it's so easy to buy, they often don't realize how much money they spend. So before they know it, they already owe a large amount. That's all for me.
Okay, I strongly agree with his point, but in my opinion, as a student council, my perspective, why young people fall into a buy now pay later, that is because the main reason why young people fall into a buy now pay later is because it is easy to access. Most platforms buy now pay later, such as Shopee Pay Later, TikTok Pay Later, and Lazada Pay Later, doesn't require strict background and credit checks like banks do. Even unemployed person or student can apply to these platforms to use for shopping and for an online shopping. Because it is simple and fast, many young people, especially the students, tend to use buy now pay later to make a purchase in an online shop without thinking if whether they can even pay it back. This lacks of screening financial can lead to overspending and overgrowing debt at the time. That's all from my opinion.
Okay, I absolutely agree what you said. As a banker, many young Malaysians fall into buy now pay later service because they lack of financial knowledge. This is because many of them don't fully understand how credit, interest or payment deadlines works. They think that buy now pay later is such free money, but in reality, every late payments charge extra fees and lowers their credit score. From what I have observed, this problem starts because financial is not strongly taught in school by teachers. Many young people know how to spend money, but they didn't know how to manage the money wisely. Okay, that's all from my point.
Yes, I strongly agree with your opinions. So another cause is the lack of financial guidance from school and institution. Many young people are not taught how to manage money properly. They don't learn how to budget, save, and plan on their expenses. So when they start using the MPR service, they think it's okay to pay later. But with a small debt can grow very fast. Without proper knowledge, they fall into a cycle of spending and repayment, that becomes hard to control. That's all.
I agree with his opinion, but I believe that another cause why young Malaysians fall into buy now pay later debts is because they have low or irregular income. Most of the buy now pay later users are in 18 to 25 groups who are mostly part-time workers or students. They usually have low or irregular income or even depend on allowance from their parents. When they use buy now pay later, they might think that splitting payments into a smaller installment can make things easier, but this is misleading because without a steady income, even a smaller installment can be a burden to them because it is not sure if they can pay it back or not. So as a result, they struggle to pay on time, leading to late fees and growing debt, especially for students. Besides, I believe there is ways to prevent buy now pay later debts use among students. One of the ways is focus. The students needs to focus on needs, not wants. Before using buy now pay later, student needs to learn difference between needs and wants. A need is something essential, such as study materials, transportation, and foods, while wants is something that you can live without it, like branded clothes or a new gadgets. Practicing self-control in a online shopping can help them to use buy now pay later only for the necessary needs and purpose, and also can prevent them from falling into an unnecessary debt. Developing this habit can help to build financial discipline and maturity that will benefit them in the future in their adult life. That's all from my opinion.
Okay, I fully agree with your perspective. But as bankers, I believe that another way to help young Malaysians avoid buy now pay later debt is by offering them a financial counseling programs. By offering them this program, they can learn about budgeting, money management, and responsible of using credits. They can learn how to plan their spending, avoid late payments, and save the money for their future. By giving young adults the right knowledge and support, we can prevent debt from becoming a long-term problem, and we can help them to build a stronger financial plan. Okay, that's all from my point.
Yes, I strongly agree with you. To solve all these issues, we must focus on prevention. So I strongly believe that the best way to solve this issue is by introducing financial education programs in school and university. If students learn early about budgeting, saving, and managing money, they will grow up with better financial disciplines. This program should teach them not only about numbers, but also about self-control, decision making, and understanding the real value of money. When young people have the right knowledge, they can avoid falling into debt and smarter financial choices in their future. Also, I think we have effect if we are not to do all these solving ways. So when young people fall into debt, it doesn't only affect them, it affects their family. As a parents, we often need to help their children pay off their debt, which creates attention and hope. Sometimes argument happens because parents feel disappointed while children feel ashamed and guilty. As a parents, we don't want to see this happen. We want our children to be independent, responsible, and happy, also not stressed or trapped by financial mistakes. That's all for me.
I strongly agree with that opinion. Besides that, effects can have the effects from using buy now pay later, especially to students, is it can give a negative impact on their mental health. That seems just like a financial problem, but it has a serious emotional effects too. When students struggles to pay their buy now pay later overdue fee, they might feel stress, guilt, and anxiety, or even depression. They constantly worry about due date, overdue payment, or even might disappointing their family. This can lead to an ongoing pressure, which can lead to a problem such as loss of sleep problem, loss of focus, and low self-esteem, especially when they compare themselves to their friend who is more financially stable from them. So this can affect both their academic performance and overall well-being in the future. That's all from my opinion.
Okay, I completely agree what you have said. But in my opinion, as a banker, I can see that buy now pay later service has caused many young Malaysians is facing about increase of financial problems. At first, they use buy now pay later service for small items, but soon they try to buy a bigger things, and the payments step increases that make them struggle to afford the payment. Late payments brings them to pay extra fees, and some end up with no savings at all. This is This also affects their credit score, making them harder to get loans from bank in the future. From the banker's view, this is worrying because that many young people are start their adult life by using this way. Okay, that's all from my point.
Yes, I completely agree with what you said. From parents' of view, you can also see how this that problem affects our children's focus and productivity. When they are worried about money, they find it hard to concentrate on their studies or work. Some of them spend too much time thinking about how to pay their debt instead of focusing on their future. Even when they are in class or at work, their mind is not fully there. They feel stressed and distressed. As parents, we notice that they become tired easily, lose motivation, and sometimes avoid talking about their problems. This lack of focus can lead to poor performance, missed opportunities, and even lower self-confidence. It hurts us to see them struggling because instead of enjoying their job and learning new things, they are burdened with financial worries at such a young age. That's why we believe it's so important to teach them about money management early, so they can stay focused on building their dreams, not paying off debt. That's right.
I strongly believe that that point is very correct. But from my perspective as a student, another effect from buy now pay later use, especially for a student, is addiction to spending. Buy now pay later easily can lead to addiction to spending. This is because payment area divided into a small monthly amount, students may feel like they're spending less than they actually are. This creates a false of affordability, making it tempting to keep buying things they don't really need. Over time, students may develop a habit of purchasing impulsively just to experience the excitement of buying or to keep up with trends on social media. They begin to depend on shopping as a way to feel satisfied or accepted by others. Unfortunately, this habit can spiral into financial problems, which is multiple installments, increased stress, and poor money management, especially for students. That's all point from me.
Okay, I totally support your viewpoint as a student. But for me, as a banker's view, I think that the growing use of buy now pay later service can reduce people's saving habits that can affect the banking systems. This is because when customers choose to use buy now pay later service, they prefer to make a small installments payments instead of saving their money before buying something. These actions may affect many people to lower the amount of keeping money in their savings accounts, which means that bank also will receive fewer deposits. Okay. In addition, when people depend too much on buy now pay later, they may develop poor money management habits and take on more debt they can handle. This is not only reduces their ability to save money, but also increase the risk of their financial stress. Okay, for banks, this will make them harder to promote responsible savings and borrowing the monies to among customers. Okay, let us do our summaries. As a result, we agree that the main cause of young people fall into buy now pay later debt is lack of financial knowledge. Okay. Many young people in Malaysia do not fully understand how buy now pay later works. They are often attracted by the easier payments and instant access to product without realize that small installments can cause a debt problem. Without strong financial literacy, young people may struggle to manage their budgets, track multiple payments, or recognize the risk of overspending money. Okay, that's all.
I agree with your idea, especially when you mentioned that lack of financial knowledge is the main cause. It is because many young Malaysians fall into debt because they lack of financial knowledge. They are not taught now to save, plan, and manage money wisely. So they spend without thinking. This causes serious problems later, such as stress, limitations, and loss of focus. That's why financial education is very important to guide them from a young age.
I also agree with his point of view that the main cause of buy now pay later is a lack of financial knowledge. I also think that lack of financial knowledge is a main cause why students become a victim of buy now pay later. This is because young people have little awareness about their spending and they don't have financial knowledge. This is why mostly students become a victim to a growing debt and late fee charges from the buy now pay later platform. That's all from us.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.